was sent for DNA analysis to the Canada, and after repeated wash for 20 times, they were able to extract the DNA and they were able to confirm that the lady was killed by that same person. It was confirmed through DNA, and later he also gave 164 statement. This is about the economic fraud. This is how usually the processing is being done. And when we present the crime-related photographs to the individual, we would monitor from outside whether the individual attend to a task, whether the individual process the information. Then only the P300 can arise. So it will be monitored from outside. The responses of the brain to the stimulus presented differs under two conditions: when there is a knowledge of an event and when there is an absence of such knowledge. This responses, it significantly varies under these two conditions. If there is a knowledge of event, then it will give significant event-related responses, and if there is no knowledge, then there will be an absence of P300 responses. This is how the analysis of P300 is being done. I will skip it. The 5 different people, 5 accused and 5 innocent, were subjected for functional MRI test. It has been found that the lying brain is more complicated than the truthful brain. When the person tells lies, there will be a deficiency in supply of oxygen to the particular part of the brain. You can see, notice here, the red spots are being noticed. This is because there is a shortage of supply of oxygen to this particular area through blood. This is because the individual was not truthful. He has an information, but he is not truthful in his responses. So this is the functional MRI, which shows that the individual has information, but not truthful in his responses. This is the region when the photographs was being shown, because this is the occipital region where the activity starts first and then spreads to the other areas of the brain. These are some of the functional MRI photographs. The processed activity in the response usually contains the information like sensory registration, arousal of attention, detection of the stimulus, and then the activation of the experiential knowledge. The topographic aspect indicates the origin of the activity in the brain, which part the activity first generates, how it spreads to other area of the brain, and the temporal aspect indicates in which part of the brain the activity first gets generated, what is the time the activity generates, how it spreads to the other areas, what are the time the other areas of the brain also starts activating. This is how the P300 response is usually generated. Again, I would like to take 2 to 3 minutes in this case. This is a case where an excise commissioner was brought to us from Mumbai to find out what till 2004. But unfortunately, some of the CBI officials themselves leaked the information to the person saying that there is a raid. So some of the pages from the diary was torn out. This individual is a very perfectionistic. He used to set the goal for each month. If I collect 10 lakhs this month, I will offer 4% to Lord Sai Baba, 2% to Tirupati Venkateshwara. So he used to maintain all this. So up to 2004, he used to set the goal and he used to collect the bribe. And when he torn out certain pages, we wanted to know what was the total amount of bribe collected by the individual. We started from the 100 crores. When 100 crores, there was no responses in the brain. 200 crores, you can see there was no response in the brain. For 250 crores, there was a sudden turbulence in the brain. When we went on for further for 260, 270 crores, there was no response in the brain. Then it was later decided that it was 250 crores that he had collected, and later he revealed how many flats he had purchased in Mumbai, where all the amount has been stored, and how much he has contributed for the temples. So all that was recovered later. This is how the P300, significance of P300 that is being generated for 200 crores and 250 crores. This is also a very famous case from Hyderabad. Satya Sai Baba temple blast. During the Satya Sai Baba temple blast, immediately after that, one person was brought to us saying that this person is having all the information related to a Satya Sai Baba temple blast. When we subjected to that person, he said that one person in UK, Anis Moinuddin, he is the one who financially supported for the blast. And he financially supports for all terrorist activity at Hyderabad. And this Anis Moinuddin, he is an MBA, he was in Oxford, and he has done his MBA from Oxford. He was sent to Oxford to UK only to give financial assistance to such terror activities. So he landed to Hyderabad. Immediately from the airport, he was picked up and he was brought for us. When we subjected him for the testing, the financial assistance to ISI, he showed a significant P300 potential. Later in the narco, he told us in detail about the elite structure and how the terrorist activity is going on in Hyderabad. This you can see the latency, that is 229 seconds. The P300 has arisen, and this is an amplitude. This is also a very famous case from from Mumbai. Preeti Jain, actress, was subjected for the testing to find out whether she really paid some amount to eliminate a producer, Madhur Bhandarkar. Burqa, the moment we showed the photograph of Burqa, she elicited a significant P300 potential. But when this Burqa photograph is being shown to us, it is just neutral to us. Our brain will never respond to it. So Burqa with Naresh Pardeshi, she showed a significant P300 from all 32 different potential. Then she later revealed that she was wearing burqa while she made an advance payment of 75,000 rupees to eliminate the producer Madhur Bhandarkar. After obtaining P3 potential, I'll skip some of this. This I would like to deliberate. This in 2007, in the month of April, an agent was brought to us from West Bengal. He is an agent who helps to cross the terrorists from Pakistan and Bangladesh, from Bangladesh border to bring them to West Bengal. So he was helping all the people to travel or to cross the border from Bangladesh to West Bengal. While he was crossing along with the 4 persons, he was caught and he was brought, and we subjected them for testing. Carried them back to Bangalore, you can see there was no response. Carried them back to Hyderabad, there is a P300 has been generated. Forensic science can also act as a preventive measure. That is what I would like to say in this. Because when we subjected him for the testing, when we subjected him for narco analysis, it was April 17th. He told us very clearly, 4 people have been sent to Hyderabad and they have carried with them 10 kgs of RDX. I myself accompanied them, and they have gone there for a target. He said this very clearly. The information was passed on to the intelligence of Hyderabad on April 19th. May 19th, the Mecca Masjid blast took place. This individual had told us, and 1 month in advance, the information was passed on to the intelligence. Because of a lack of acting on the information provided, the incident took place, Mecca Masjid blast took place. And again, he was brought to us again to find out who are all the local people who gave him the logistic support. And he told us where actually bomb was assembled, how many persons were present, and who gave the financial assistance. So the forensic science can also act as a preventive role. Mumbai blast, you must have heard of serial train blast at Mumbai. Even the serial train blast at Mumbai was solved only by brain mapping and narcoanalysis at FSL Bangalore. So when Joint Commissioner from Mumbai came to us, he told us that he doesn't have any other information except that 1 person who had been to Pakistan for training was brought to us. From 1 person, we were able to generate 32 people. From 1 person, we could also find out where the RDX was being assembled. And the recovery of RDX, the recovery of remaining bombs were being made. And the recovery of the vehicle that was used was also made. And here, after these 32 people, 1 more person they brought, and they said that this fellow's mobile details we have. We knew that that particular day, this fellow was in an interview. In the last station, he plants the bomb and comes back. And even after the narco-analysis, he gave the statement saying that how many people had come from Pakistan and how many bombs were assembled, where all it was assembled, where all the material was purchased, all the details were given by that individual also. This is also a very important case, a Telegi case. Telegi was saying that I purchased a particular post. But how much he paid, he was not willing to tell us. So when we went on from 5 crores, for 25 crores, we found a significant P300 for a particular post. This is the histograms. The Madras High Court order, what the director Dr. B.M. Mohan mentioned now, is for this. A Dinesh Dalmia, he was brought to us after the Madras High Court gave order saying that he should be subjected for all these scientific tests. He accepted, he agreed that I had released 600 crore fraudulent share to the share market. But what happened to the money? He said, I met with loss. 600 crore fraudulent shares. But there was a doubt like what might have happened to the amount. So we started measuring whether the investment has been made in the Swiss bank or in the foreign country for real estate investment. And when we found that the real estate investment through brokers, significant P300 generated. And later in the narco, he also said that how many complexes he purchased at Calcutta through brokers with the fraudulent amount that he has acquired. Due to paucity of time, I would like to skip, and 1 minute I will take on this. In Mysore Zoo, the elephant and white tigers were done to death. They were planning programming in such a way that on Tuesday, the elephant or the tiger should die. Because Tuesday happened to be holiday to the zoo, and when the visitors comes on Monday, they should see how the animals are being suffered. Then the person who was administering the poison to the elephant or to the tiger had a knowledge that the process is irreversible. At any amount of drug being given, the animals cannot be saved. He was aware, he had a knowledge. So he used to see that Monday he will administer the drug and Tuesday animal will be done to death. So he was doing it because we wanted to find out whether it is because of revenge he is doing it, or he is doing it because of some other reason. When we went on analyzing, we came to know that he was murdering the elephant or a tiger for the non-repayment of loans. What happened was, there was a new IFS officer who came to the zoo, and he blocked all the loopholes of collecting the amount. So when he blocked the loopholes, the agents who were supplying, they somehow wanted to remove him from the place. So they said that the animal feeders, they said that you have to repay me the money if you administer this drug to the animal. So those people, they started administering the drug to the animals, and that is how many elephants, almost 3 to 4 elephants, 1 white tiger was done to death. And later only through narco-analysis and through brain mapping, the case was solved. These are some of the cases. After obtaining P300, we will subject them for wavelet analysis. This is how the P300 component of the wavelet analysis, along with all statistical details. We can see the neutral for the neutral ones, and this is for the target ones, how the P300 arise in wavelet analysis of the MATLAB. This is the pure P300 component, pure signal. And you can see from here to here, when we start remembering something, till like when we start recollecting our house or particular room, the entire picture will come to our conscious mind. So that is called as length of window. So he has started recollecting a particular event up to this, almost for 7 seconds, he has recalled the particular incident. All these measurements, they are statistically verified. They are significant at 0.001 level. The entire crime scene with actions, they are tested for experiential knowledge. And studies have revealed that the responses in the 2 conditions, they are highly significant, could be elicited consistently. Here, we don't expect any type of response. No statement is being made. No drug is being administered to the individual. The individual is totally conscious. Just what we expect him to do is just to watch the photograph being presented. Just hear the words being presented, that is programmed and being presented. He is made to sit in a soundproof, sound-treated room. So he never is expected to press even a button. So just watch what happens in the brain is being captured. So it is totally non-invasive in technology. And no statement, no response is being obtained, hence no statement is being made. The bioelectrical activity associated with evoked potentials are recorded from the surface of the brain, and these potentials, they are buried in a more powerful EEG activity, hence background of EEG is removed, filtering will be done, multivariate analysis which is within built-in system will be carried out. These are some of the ways how it can be worldwide. All these measurements now already we have processed the information. Only when he identifies the information, then P300 arises. If he inhibits the processing, then immediately within 400 milliseconds, a negative wave arises indicating that the individual is inhibiting the processing of information. It's a deliberate inhibition of processing of information. So immediately within 400 milliseconds, the negative wave arises indicating the individual has information, but he is not processing, blocking the evaluation of information. So this is for the auditory mode. You can see this is for the visual mode. In similar way, what photographs that we have used also will appear on the top of the report. Such work was earlier done by Lawrence Farwell. He calls it as a brain fingerprinting. The work that was done by Lawrence Farwell and the work carried out by us is totally different. Lawrence Farwell, he calls it as a murmur, that is memory and encoding related multifaceted electroencephalographic response. He says that when the brain recognizes certain information, a sea of waves appears in the brain. This sea of waves, he calls it as a murmur. But he is not able to account for what are the waves that is being generated. He says sea of waves. Then each wave he should be able to identify. But here we are particular in identifying the P300 potential. Almost 50 years of research worldwide has been carried out on P300 to establish that P300 is a memory component. P300 arises only when the individual has an experiential knowledge. So worldwide research has gone into it. So the Lawrence Farwell work has been objected because he did not see, he says that P300 is one of the subcomponent of murmur. Then what is the main component of murmur? What are the waves that is being generated? Why such waves generates? He is not able to say. And further, brain mapping, we do it from 32 different areas. We know that at which site of the brain the activity first generates, how it spreads to the other areas of the brain. But he does it only with the 3 sites, that is frontal, central and parietal, only 3 sites. So he is unable to identify which part the brain function first starts its activity and how it spreads to the other areas he is unable to identify. So origin of signal from different location, how it spreads to different areas in the brain, which part is more prominent to the individual, which part is less prominent can be accurately studied in brain mapping but not in brain fingerprinting. He says sea of waves, but he cannot identify the importance of other waves, whereas P300 is established wave and years of research has been gone into it worldwide to establish that it is a memory component. Farwell, in spite of all this, Farwell brain fingerprinting technique has been admitted and accepted as an evidence in the Supreme Court of Iowa, USA in Harrington case. Harrington, when he convicted, he was 19 years old. When Farwell subjected him for this testing, brain fingerprinting testing, he was 42 years old. So against all other evidences, Iowa Supreme Court upheld the finding of brain fingerprinting technique, and in 42 years old, he said that his brain doesn't have any information related to the crime, and Iowa Supreme Court upheld this and he was acquitted. Here, High Court of Bombay, Supreme Court also have given us direction to do the testing. Accurate identification of perpetrators of crime quickly and scientifically with cost-effective result possible. Quick and accurate exoneration of innocents, leading to the reduction in the financial expenditure of the law enforcement agency. Immediate scientific result is possible, and it serves to protect the rights of innocents. We don't expect them to respond. They can discover the criminal espionage, terrorist plot against government, society, minimization of time. It is totally non-invasive in procedure. Hence, trauma of investigative procedure, the individual need not have to undergo. It can uphold the concept of serving the rights of innocent. The procedure adapted in brain mapping test is totally non-invasive. Hence, the Article 20 Sub-Rule 3 of the Constitution is not infringed. There are various High Court orders. One of the Madras High Court order, in its order dated 8306, it states that subjecting the accused to undergo scientific tests such as brain mapping, polygraph and narcoanalysis would not amount to compel him to break his silence by force. In Dinesh Dalmia case, it says that when there is a hue and cry from the public and human rights activists that the investigating agency adopts third-degree method to extract the information from the accused, it is high time that the investigating agency took recourse to the scientific method of investigation. Madurai Bench of High Court in its order 270 illegal power segment. But these tests are only for the purpose of culling out the truth in a genuine manner. There are various High Court orders from Supreme Court of India. There are two Mumbai High Court order, two Madras High Court order. There is an Orissa High Court order, Allahabad High Court order, Gujarat High Court order. Totally we have 14 High Court orders.